We are hearing from the UK now as we begin with this dramatic escalation in the tension between Iran and the West. The British government warning there will be, quote, serious consequences if Iran does not release a British-flagged oil tanker that it captured in the Strait of Hormuz.
Iran claims the ship was involved in an accident with an Iranian fishing boat after reportedly ignoring the boat's distress call. Iran's news agency says the tanker is being held in port and the ship's crew will remain on board while Iran investigates. Clarissa Ward joins us now. Clarissa, what are British officials saying?
Well, not very much, to be honest, Victor. At this stage, what we've heard from the foreign secretary or foreign minister here in the UK, Jeremy Hunt, is that they will be responding in a robust but considered manner, though he did go on afterwards to say that they were looking at diplomatic solutions and not military solutions. There was an emergency meeting yesterday convened to discuss ways to respond to this. But at this stage, we don't really have a good sense of exactly how the Brits are planning to respond to this. And it's important for our viewers to remember that this comes in the wake of an Iranian vessel that was seized by the British Navy earlier this month off the coast of Gibraltar near Spain. That vessel, according to the British Navy, was carrying oil that was going to be smuggled illegally to Syria. So I think what you're seeing here, Victor, is an element of tit for tat. But more broadly speaking, what you're seeing is a continued escalation in tensions as we see the disintegration of the Iran deal really start to happen in a meaningful way. This, of course, happening after the U.S. pulled out of the Iran deal, after it reimposed sanctions. Europe has been floundering to try to keep the deal intact. But what we are witnessing here clearly is a failure to do that. And the real fear now, Victor, is does this somehow devolve into an all-out military conflict, and how can that be averted? With one shipping publication, a prominent publication, saying this is the highest level security threat they have seen in the shipping arena since the late 80s. So a very significant escalation here, and a lot of people on all sides very concerned about where it might lead, Victor.
All right, Clarissa, we want to listen to the UK Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt here.
This is completely unacceptable. Freedom of navigation must be maintained. We will respond in a way that is considered but robust. And we are absolutely clear that if this situation is not resolved quickly, there will be serious consequences.
Clarissa, who is leading this in the UK? Because we know that the leadership there already is a bit in flux.
That's putting it mildly, Christy. I mean, this is another part of the conundrum here in the UK, is that really it's a political quagmire. Theresa May has stepped down. We will be finding out who the new British Prime Minister will be at some point this week. It may be, a lot of people are speculating that it will be Boris Johnson. That will come with some difficulties in and of itself, because he has had run-ins with Iran before. And again, just to reassert this idea of the difficulty now, the limited options on the table for Great Britain as it tries to resolve this issue. I think a lot of people here, and particularly in politics, wanted to see a full-throated voice of support from President Trump yesterday. There's concern that that's not exactly what they heard in his comments on the lawn yesterday.